All right, welcome to this session of your planning unit. My name is Andreas Vasiliou, and I'm just taking this class, or this part of this class today, just to show you how to bring in some contours into your house design. And we have put in these two new files here under Project 1 Planning. And so download these two files ready for us to work in. So we will open House Design 219, which is actually a Revit file in 2019 format. If you're using a different format, you have to let us know, and we'll create one for hopefully 2018 or something like that if you need it. I don't think anyone is on 2018, so we'll just go with that for now until we hear otherwise. All right, so I've downloaded these already, so I'm ready to roll. Hopefully, so I've got what something that I prepared a little earlier. So basically, this is your house, the house. We're going to import in the site plan, which is actually an AutoCAD file, by the way, and we are going to put a surface in there using the contours, which are actually sitting up here. So it's quite typical of what a surveyor might give you, which is basically the contours will be 3D, but the rest of the stuff will probably be 2D. We are going to create this surface, which will actually get created up here, and we are going to move it down here. There's two things you can do. You can either move your house up there, or you can move the surface down here. Surveyor will probably be horrified that we've done that. But anyway, we will do that because we've got a license to do that. All right, so let's do that. So this is the finished version. So I'm just going to close this all together, and I'm going to begin by opening the file you just downloaded, which is the Revit file. So I'd like you to do the same thing. So go and open up this house design, for example, 2019, and the first thing to do, of course, is to save it as in the format that you normally save everything else. I usually save it as file save as. Yeah, so you're going to do the file save as this time. Yeah, not yeah, right. Yeah, come closer if you want to be heard in the thing.
What Alan said to me is that
Come closer.
Adobe on the computers here isn't opening up that site plan. But
Adobe, right.
Adobe's, but they don't actually need to be opening that because it's just bringing in.
You don't need to open the site plan. Just download it, ready to be inserted via here, insert through Revit. Okay, so we'll do that in a minute. It's not a PDF. It's actually a drawing file, so you need to open it with AutoCAD if you wanted to open it with AutoCAD. We don't need to open it anyway. So just download it so it's ready for action. Oh, good, thank you. Brilliant. So where was that? Yes, so save as. Project. I'm just going to just organize it here. I'm going to call it class demo in where I'm going to put the files from today. And I'm just going to, the actual house design itself, I'm just going to put my name in front of it. Andreas Vasiliou, and dash there. That's how I do my stuff usually. Up to you. So there it is, save. And now we're going to import that site plan. Now, what I would like you to do actually is make sure that the where you saved your file, this Revit file, is where you're actually going to place your AutoCAD site plan as well. Just makes things a little easier for Revit to find things. We're not going to actually link it, so it doesn't matter so much. We're just going to straight insert it in here, but it's good to have your file management sort of systems a little bit organized. So that's what I like to keep together. When I back up that folder, for example, it'll go with it. So I'm just going to copy that into here. There it is. So I've got both things in there. So I'm all organized. All right, so here we are. We're just in the FFL here. And that's the house we're dealing with. The bathroom is up the top here. And we should have some elevation symbols around it like that. Excellent. All right, so what we're going to do now is go to Insert right here, Insert tab, and we're actually going to import it. We're not going to do a CAD link. We're just going to import it straight in here. All right. The only danger with that is that if the site plan gets updated by the surveyor, we would have to reinsert it again. But it doesn't really matter so much because really it's the contours we want. And I don't think they'll be adding any more contours. For this exercise, we're just going to do the CAD import. And we're going to select the site survey. See, it's already defaulted to my class demo folder that I created. So it's fine. It's looking in here first. So it makes life easier rather than to navigate to downloads or whatever. So here, I am going to leave everything as is. In fact, even auto origin to origin, auto detect, whatever. But I'm just going to take off these correct lines that are slightly off axis. Um, Surveying drawings are all slightly off axis. There's nothing on axis. So we don't want it to start correcting things for us or assuming. So we're just going to take that off. I'm not going to tick this on. If I did tick this on, this plan will only come into FFL, and I want it to be seen in every floor plan view, every view. All right, so that's it. Just go OK, open. All right, so here it is. So we've got a message down the bottom. Do you have the message? Hmm. Is that a message we need to worry about? That's a question. It says it's a warning. So normally if it's a warning, you don't have to worry about it too much. Okay, so it's not critical. All right, so that's fine. Just close that. And it says none of the created elements are visible in floor plan FFL. Okay, that's fine. They might be visible somewhere else. So it's not like it failed. You might want to check the active view, its parameters, visibility settings, as well as any plan regions and their settings. Active view. All of that didn't give me any hint. Anyway, thank you. All the problem is here is if I zoom out, well, it could be out of view. Well, it's not out of view. I don't think it's that far away. It's all got to do with this guy here, crop region. So if I take that off, it's showing me stuff outside that region. There it is. All right. So just do that so you can see where it is. And again, the surveyor may be horrified that I'm moving it out of its geolocation, but be easier for me to move this to the house rather than the house to this in this instance. So I'd rather not move that too much. Plus, this is where all my little elevation symbols are, so we want to get that site plan in there. We're just going to literally click it once, sorry, and then click again. Oh, doesn't drag. Let's see, drag. No, it doesn't drag. Okay, usually drags. It seems to be locked though, and I'm not sure why it's pinned. I never pinned it, but anyway, prevent, allow change. I don't remember pinning it. Okay, that's interesting. Anyway, if it's pinned, just take the pin off and just move it somewhere, over the top of that. All right, so your elevations now are sort of looking at this from they're looking at the floor plan from the right spot, but they're not aligned with the site boundaries, but that's fine. All right, we can worry about those later if we have to. All right, so once we've got the site in there, we can pin it again if we don't want to move it. It's sort of like a one group, so it doesn't really matter. I don't think we can. Anyway, just lock it for now, just in case. Let's have a look. So it's pinned. So I just click on it. It's a pin's happening. There's a pin up here, so you can actually do it from there as well on the ribbon up here. All right, so it's pinned. I'll just escape that now, and we'll just go and have a little check in 3D. See what we've got. So this is what we've got in 3D. We've got the 2D stuff from the site plan is sitting on the FFL probably, and we've got the 3D stuff up there. which is the contours. The contours are the minor contours and the major contours are in green. So let's have a look at an elevation. If I go down to the south elevation, what can we see there? Anything? Okay, we can see some pink stuff here, and that's probably our site plan, the 2D stuff of it. So it's sitting on the FFL, by the look of it. All right. So just getting an idea about what's going on here. Okay, so what have we got here? We've got the ground floor here as well. All right, so that's basically where I suppose the timber floor is sitting on top of that ground floor, and then the actual finished floor is up here under FFL. All right, so we've done our little site investigation there, had a look where everything's sitting. It's all looking good. So now, what are we going to do next? Well, you've got to think about rotating your house, of course, around that. But what I'm going to do to start off with, I'm thinking, is to rotate, is to create the surface at the top there. All right, so let's go through with that. Everybody got that in so far? Is this? So just now, where we're going to put that doesn't matter where well, it probably does matter where we do the surface because we've got to be able to. No, it doesn't matter. You can do the surface actually in any floor plan. You don't even have to be able to see the contours. But it's always nice to just see it in 3D happen in front of your eyes. So we'll go to 3D and do it that way. All right. So you can twist it around so it's more like this maybe, so you can see these contours better. And let's do it. All right. Let's go to the massing and site tab. And then we want to do a topo surface right there. All right, so click that. And then what we need to do is just click down on this button here, which says create from import, and then select the top one, which is select import instance. So we've got to tell it where our CAD drawing is. So click that and just click on that basically. Just when it comes up like that, just click it. So here is showing us all the layers that came across from that AutoCAD drawing. And we don't need all of them. We only need two, which is major and minor, and we're going to use those two to create the surface out of that. Okay. So what you're going to do is just check none on the right hand side here, and then just recheck, tick, check, whatever, major and minor. All right, and go OK, and it's done. You know, it's easy. And you just have to do this little tick here and you're finished. So there it is. That's your nice little surface. We can click on the surface. We'll give it a little color if you like. Just go to the properties if you've got them up there. On the material, you can click here and click on the little three dots and wait for it. And just search for something like grass. I don't know. We've got grass. Yes, here's grass. If you haven't got this little bottom section, you just have to, there's a button here that toggles it on and off. So just toggle it on. And if it's too small, you can drag it up and down. And sometimes it's about this big, you know. So you just got to hang over this and then gives you this button. You just click on this up arrow here, the first one, and it puts it into this section here. And then just go OK. And now that says grass over here. And you go escape. It's green. It's quite green. Okay. What about, yeah. Okay, well, you can muck around with the color if you want. You can make it lighter. Yeah, you can go into it and or change it or get something else. That's appearance, whatever. Is it that one? Where was it? Appearance? Yeah. Dark image. That's not the one I'm after. Where is it? I don't know. I lost it now, but you can muck around here. I'll leave it there for now. I can't quite. Has anyone worked out where it is? Where you change the actual lightness of this? No. Anyway, there's another one called Plants, I think. That's no tree. Well, I don't know. Don't worry about it. Just leave it at that. We won't worry about it for now. But grass, that's what it is. It's a bit dark, but that's all right. Anyway, so what we're going to do is go to south elevation next. All right. So again, if we zoom out here, we don't see we don't see anything. So again, it's this crop view. So take that off, and there you go. There it is. All right. So when you click on here, well, before you click, it says topography. Once you see that, click it. And then what we're going to do is actually hit the move command. And the trick here is to pick it up from somewhere about, say, just that the bottom of this, around about there. Yeah. And then just bring it down. Now the trick here is to go straight down, and to make sure you've gone straight down. In other words, so you don't move the surface outside the boundary. So the surface still remains from top view where it is, because if you come down here and you sort of click on here, it'll go sort of towards one side of the site plan if you look at it from the top view. So you don't want to change that orientation. So you just want to go straight down. All right. So to avoid that, you probably, there's a couple of things you can do. But what I'm going to do is actually make sure I'm not near anything that I'm going to click to the endpoint of something or midpoint, just away from anything like here, and that sort of puts it in the right spot almost as well. And if you want to do some final adjustments, you can actually, it's highlighted now. You can use your up arrow, for example, and down arrow to get it in the right spot. Right. So there are some rules, I suppose, that we got to work out so we don't have too much cut or too much fill. I think there's try and avoid having what's called what's the retaining wall, is it? Yeah, more than about a meter, is it? Yeah. So right.
That doesn't mean that you never need to have a retaining wall under a meter engineer. Sometimes you do.
Right.
Certain aspects of
Right.
with that council say yes you do.
Mm.
But if we keep things under a meter, so much simpler.
All right. So we try and keep the cutting and filling, I suppose, under a meter, so there's not too much engineering required, if any. That's a thing. But now the problem is we don't know where the house is going to be, so you've got to sort that out next. So and then you can come back here and adjust up and down a bit, perhaps. All right. So let's have a look. If we have a look at the floor plan again, here it is. That's my house. What am I going to do with this? I want to turn it a lot maybe. That's sort of the front door, isn't it? And that's the driveway over there. Yeah, so, and I suppose, what, this is a lounge room or something, so you probably want that facing the other way, hey? Yeah. So we probably want to rotate it at least around about 180, I don't know. So we start with that and see, get that right, and then we can work out other things. So let's go. What I suggest, what I found the easiest way was with this particular model anyway, and probably all the models that to go with the 3D first. So go to 3D and use it in this area here. So what you got to make sure I mean, we'll be okay with this one. I know we'll be okay with this one because there's nothing that's really turned off. Well, there are some categories that are turned off, but I don't think they have anything in them. But just to be safe in the future, just go to visibility graphics, VV, for example, VV or VG, and just go through here. Make sure you got a tick in every one of these. Where are we? I mean, massing. I doubt there's a mass in here, but just to be sure, I'll put it on. Doesn't matter. If there isn't, it doesn't matter, hey? Parts, I don't think we have any parts. And that's all that's turned off, so that's okay. We'll go okay. So what I want to do is rotate it 180 degrees, we said. So what I'm going to do is just do a window over this, like this. Make sure I'm getting everything to do with the house. There are some little pins or things that are pinned to some other things, but I think as long as those other things are rotated at the same time, I don't think the pinning is a problem. So here we go. So we're just going to rotate, and then there's a little origin in the middle there. Okay, so I'm just going to sort of click. I can't get out of there because there seems to be a cropping which I didn't turn off, I think. So I'll just make sure I'm not. It doesn't matter if I click anywhere really, because I'm going to do is just like click there, start moving, and I'm just going to type in 180. That's all. Yep, the whole house. Oh, just a window. Click over here. Click and hold, and just like that, and they go, and then just normal way of selecting it, and then just rotate, and then I'll just click somewhere over here. It doesn't matter. It can be over here, wherever you want to click. Just have to start this thing going. And because going 180, it doesn't matter. It's all relative to where you click. So even if you're going 45, it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to go 180. And just type that in and press enter, right? So hopefully do that. Oh, it did, yeah, because I didn't even notice it. Okay. All right. So if we have a look at that now, the front door is over here. It's all looking good, except our steps are going into the ground, so we've got to sort that out later. Okie dokie. So that's it, man. Yeah, well, that's sort of it. It's not really. It's a little more work to be done. If we go to the floor plan over here, there it is. A word of warning that sometimes it's a problem if you select from here now because the roof is sort of not being selected because of this level. So I wanted to rotate it a bit more, but what I'm going to do is, and I shouldn't have deselected it. I'll reselect it from here. Right, hopefully if I come here, still selected. So the 3D makes sure you get everything, yeah, including the roof. So from here now I can rotate one more time, and you can do that. Um, you can do that sort of if you just depends what you're trying to do. If you're trying to find the optimum sun position or whatever, or step back or whatever you're trying to do, but I'm just going to do it like that, basically, just by eye dropping it there, and there it is. That's my house. I'm looking at this thing here now. Let me just go to the site over here. There's a view called site. Let's just see what we can see there. Ooh, we can see well, some for me it looks like that. Is yours the same? We've got these pins up here. Eh? No, it's not the same. Mine's all. Can you see anything in your site plan? Go to your site plan over here on the view tab. Yeah. All right. So mine looks like this. So I just need to take this little tick off the crop view. So I'll just escape and just take the crop there so we can see the whole thing. Okay. All right. Now the other thing you can see here is that well, the first thing to check is that your site, your surface is actually sitting within the site plan still, so it hasn't moved to one side. Okay, so so you're not getting. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. It happens when I teach. So you're not getting something like this, right? It's got to be sitting like mine was like that. All right. Yes. An error. Oh, okay. Let me just. I'll just check that. So once you check that that is still okay or good, you then want to move this house to where you want to have it with your setbacks and whatever you're doing, your planning side of things. All right. So once you get that right, and it might not be now, but I'll give you the procedure of how you would do it. So once you work out, that might not be the position you wanted to rest at. So you want to, again, as I said, go back to 3D, make sure you highlight it like this, go back to your site plan, and then you can perhaps rotate it a bit more if you want, or you can use the nudging or the move command to get it in the right location. If you are having a particular setback, obviously you have, for example, drawn a line, where are we, architecture, model line or something like that, which it might be offset. For example, let me just say, let's just say we have an offset of whatever it might be. I'm just thinking, I'm just going with a number, 6 meters, and I'm just going to have an offset of 6 meters. And oh, none of the created elements are visible. Floor plan. So let me just go to the floor plan here. I'm not sure where it's gone, but none of the created elements are visible in floor plan. Start view. When I want to check the active view parameters. So it might be that those lines are turned off. I just have to go to, I think is it lines? Where is it that we see those lines? Lines? Is that right? Lines? Model? Oh, lines are turned off. Oh yeah, it will be. There you go. So yeah, so that's where my setback is. So yeah, you might want to, if you want to do it the other way, again, I'll go here. So there's a model line there, but I'm going to use it from, it depends where that model line will be on the floor. So if you want to do it accurately that way, you could go now to the ground and go and move, and wherever your setback is taken from, say if it is from there, you go there, and then you go perpendicular to that, and let's hope it hasn't done anything else like move it up or down. Let's go to south elevation. Has it moved it up? Do you think? No. Now the house is still, if I click here, it looks like the bottom of the floor is like there on that level. So I don't think it's moved or anything. So now you've got a way of doing your setbacks. Yeah. All right. So if I go to site plan, site plan. Where's that line I had in it? Was, maybe it's the floor plan that I turned it on. Again, if you're in here, you want to see that line. I think I must have done it on the floor plan rather than the. So if you go to lines, just check here under lines. Yep, it's turned off. Okay, there you go. So there's my setback line there. Yeah, and if you want to see through that, you just make this wireframe. Then you can see where that line is going through as well. All right, so that line will get deleted after. Okay, so now what's the next thing we're going to do? Now, I can see a problem with my surface already. All right, and this is the problem. Well, can you see a problem with your surface? Put it that way. There's the surface, and it's not green here. That's fine. What do you see as a problem with this? Well, I can see there's cut off there, but yeah, so we need to fix that. All right. So if I highlight this, now why is it cut off there? That's the question. It's cut off over here, it's cut off over there, right? Can you see why that's a problem and why it happened? Well, it so happened that my contour is finished there. And, I'm guessing that that's the last level, which is 97.2. And then it goes flat, or they haven't surveyed it. And it's 97.2 here as well. Okay. It's the edge of the earth. Yeah, you fall off after that. Actually, that's a technical surveying term. All right, so yeah, so okay, so we gotta use our Revit skills to make it look better. All right, so I'm going to click on this and I'm going to edit the surface. Now the problem is portions of the topographic surface or points on this surface might not be visible in this view, clipping issues, whatever. Yeah. So I can see some points here. That's good. I can see that point there. If I click on that, it tells you that that's sitting at the minus 400. Which one was it? One of these. We have no such thing as minus 400. We've got 99 600 above sea level or something like that. Nothing like minus 400. And of course, that's the reason for that is because we moved it from its actual real location in height down. So we got to use our own numbers now, not the numbers that are told written here, right? So that's why that says minus 400 instead of 99, whatever. So let's have a look. And of course, we are talking millimeters. This is talking meters here, right? All right. So let's have a look. How we're going to do this? The first problem we got is that we're not seeing the whole thing apparently. So not sure why we're not seeing the whole thing, but let me just close that. All right. The one problem could be your view range. Edit view range. Now I'm seeing the cut plane is at 100 meters above the finished floor level, and yeah, so we are really high up and looking down 100 meters up. But then below that, we're seeing up to GL, which is about 500 millimeters below that. But maybe they will need to do more. I'm just going to see if I put in something like minus 5,000, for example, if it helps. I don't know. Let's try that. Probably. Uh, let's see if I click here now. I'm seeing a lot more of these little dots now. So, sorry. You got an error? Oh, let me have a look. All right. So basically, what we're going to do now, we can do a couple of things. We can put a new point in here, or we can drag this one down. See what it does. No, it doesn't like that because it's outside the boundary. That's what it said. All right, so what I'm going to do is this. What I'm going to do is put another point in. I'm just going to have a look at what level this is sitting at. Minus 2600 it says. I just clicked on the little point there. Maybe if I put it on wireframe, I don't know if it helps more. Yeah, there you go. It's a point there. That's minus 2600. Let's see what the other one says over here. Surprise, surprise, it says minus 2600. Right, because it's all really calculated from this, I would say. So all of those are minus 2600. Yep. Sorry, yes. Mine says that, but yours might be different. But yeah, because I just dragged it down and nudged it up and down or whatever. So yours, yeah, might different. Remember earlier on I said we might have to come back and nudge it up and down a bit more. But for now, we can fix the surface issue at the edges, and then still come back later and move the whole thing up or down to get that 1 meter issue sorted if we have it. Uh, yeah, that's right. So yeah, depending. No, I can see him now. The problem was my view range wasn't looking below the floor level much. But if yours is higher, you'll be able to see more than I could have seen. So it depends where yours landed. So not everyone's. It's a good point. Not everyone's will be exactly the same. Thanks for bringing that up. All right. So, but if we do a minus 5,000, this is making sure I'm seeing everything, and probably most people will see everything. It wouldn't be below. It wouldn't be 5 meters below. It'd be pretty close to where the house level is. Yeah. So good. So mine is minus 2600. whatever the number is, if it's an odd number, it's like 26, 10.5, whatever, and you're not going to remember it, write it down or click here, Control C, copy it, and then you can just paste it in the new point later, exactly the same. All right, so what I'm going to do here is go place point here. So I'm in the editing mode, so I'm going to place point, and I'm going to go here, put it in the midpoint there, just for somewhere to put it. And if I escape now and then click on that point, it says it's sitting at 0. So it's really sitting, 2.6 meters above from where I want it to be. So I'm going to come here now and Control V and paste that number in there, and that takes it down. All right, so it's on the same level as those. And escape one more time. And now I can click on this point and drag it over here. All right, so in theory, that's closed that gap there. These ones here are quite simple. I think I should be able to just drag the existing one here. I tried that with the earlier one, didn't work, so maybe try that one. Yeah, that works. And either that or that, bring it across. Yeah. So now all you got to do is just go tick, and you can put your surface back, shade it, whatever. Save the project, yeah. Don't forget to save the project. All right, so there's my surface, is looking good. And if I go to 3D, it's more complete here as well, of course. All right, so that's what it looks like. So it is taking a bit of a dive down the hill towards the back of the house, but it's flatter up in here. You can see from here where the house is crashing into the side of the slight slope there. So that's where we're going to have a retaining wall there, and we're going to be looking to fill over here. Perhaps a stair here. I'm sure where we are. Yeah, stairs are not too bad there. Yeah. They're probably quite okay there. At a natural level on these ones are. The front ones are buried. Okay, so we need to create a little. If we're happy that's where it is, we'll create a little flat pad, they call it here, so that you can sit on. So a little excavated area which is flat. Yeah, do that cut and fill. Now, let me, as I said to you before, if I go to the south elevation. Here, just to have a check of what's going on now. It looks, this is where I can actually get a sense of measurements as well. So now this south elevation is a bit of a problem because it's not really exactly south, is it? So let me just go to my floor plan and see if I can, now that I've got the house oriented that way in the side plan, I think, again, I've got to, I was using FFL before, but anyway, I just got to keep taking these little crop view things off. Now I can't see the, I think they're over here on the FFL. Yeah, I'm looking at the elevation symbol, so I'm going to bring this one, just bring it over here, and then rotate it. Click on this little thing here. It sort of locks in to about there. Roughly enough, is more front on than it was before. So that's my new north elevation, I suppose. It's called north. I mean, it's just a name. All right, so it's not true north. Let's go here. Click here. We get this little thing. Let's fix that up. This one again, you can move it up, and you can escape. Click it again. Gives you this thing here. Rotate it a bit. And this one here, we take this one up to there, escape, click again, and this little rotate thing, and locks in, 45 degrees onto it, so that's all right. All right, so there it is. Now if I go to south elevation, which is this one here, Oh, really? Um, South elevation. Uh, there it is. It's more sort of front on, and I can, if I go to shaded, maybe shade. Oh, it's terrible. Not shade. Let's go hidden. I don't know what I had before. Probably was hidden. These things are all over the place here in front of it. It's exactly where I want to be. I've got these things there. Um, so anyway, you can actually measure a little bit just to get a sense of where we are. So this is about 750. So we should be okay with that retaining wall over here. We're from, let me just change the scale here for a minute to be 1 to 10. Just get these a bit smaller. I can move them out, but I couldn't be bothered. See what's easier. So here's the ground floor level there. The actual earth here is there. But where we're looking at there, don't forget, is actually further back. So if you look at the floor plan, you've got to know where you're measuring from as well. We're here, looking over here. So we're looking at this highest position here. So you've got to really measure just there. So it's a bit hard from there. Maybe you need to put in like a section through here if you want to just get a sense of what the cutout looks like. And right click and go to view. And that gives you probably a better sense of how much you need to dig out. So I'm thinking of putting the pad down here and then build my floor on top of that, and the steps go down to it. That'd be a fair thing, yeah. So the pad will go down here, yeah. So then I'm going to measure from here. Really, that's roughly from there to about there. Looks like I've got 755 to cut. So, and over here, we've probably got a bit cut here as well, and some other areas might be a bit of fill, but I think we'll be okay where I put it. We'll be quite okay with engineering. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm happy with that. I don't have to move this surface up or down. I'm happy with that. I fluked it. Otherwise, I would have to go select the surface. It says here topography, and I can go nudge up or down to get it right or righter. Okay, so that's it. So let's go now to the site plan. I'm happy with that. And you can check, of course, you can do a cross section across here as well. But just visually, I think I'll be okay. I don't need to have another section going through here to check that side of things. I think we should be okay. Once you've done that cutout, there's probably an opportunity again to move the surface up or down then. But I might not be saying the truth. But anyway, never done it that way before. But anyway, let's go. You can nudge the house down. Well, the way to nudge the house down in the future or up, it's possible if everything is done on the finished floor level, just change the finished floor level from zero to say 100 or 50 or 46 or whatever to get it right. Yeah, you could do that as well. Yeah. We haven't tried that, but yeah, in theory you can. All right, so let's now go in here and go to massing, and we are going to put a building pad. This one here. All right, so building pad. There's some side components here as well, like trees and stuff. So you can bring those in here if you want to put 3D trees after. So you can. I'm not going to get to that, I don't think, today. And then you've got to put your fencing. So it's another session there, maybe, or whatever. So we'll work on that later. All right. So for now, get up to the pad, and we should be right. So let's go building pad. The way I'm going to do this actually is you can do it however you want, but I'm just going to pick a number for ease, and I'm going to offset. You've got to sketch your pad basically, but I'm going to offset from the house. I'm going to offset a couple of meters from each side of the house, and here I'm picking the eaves actually. It's not the actual walls. It doesn't matter. It's up to you. Once you put it in there, you can actually always adjust it a bit more anyway. So I'm just going to go a couple of meters offset just to make it quicker. Of course, you can customize each offset, but I'm doing 2 meters here. So I've got 2 meters from there, 2 meters from there, 2 meters from there. You can put 1 meter, whatever. You just got to be careful you clear these as well. The other thing I haven't done is this. The level I'm working from, should be at that GL level, which is I didn't show you this, but that GL level is where the stairs are, or where we want to put that pad that I was showing you earlier down that level. So let's change that to the GL level. So that's where it's going, and it's offset from there. Yes, I think that should work. The other way would have been to go here and actually, yeah, it's probably best to do that as well, just to make sure. Set that to GL as well, ground level. So everything is set to ground level, so we can't go wrong. Hopefully, just checking everything. So now I've got that. I can just go to here and trim extend and just do that. And if you want to customize it a bit later, you might say, oh yeah, whatever, that's a bit far. Well, you can, you can bring it in, but you do probably want to have someone come down the stairs and then walk around here on a flat surface and then go to the front. So okay, so let's go here and tick that and hope for the best. The other thing is what we've done here. Yes, if I tick this, we get a pad, and that pad, if I edit the top of the pad, is 304.8 millimeters thick. Of course, you can change all that, make it whatever color, gravel, concrete, whatever, whatever it is. It's basically just a compacted flat sort of area that you build your house on. So okay, that I'll just leave it as default. Doesn't worry us. Okay, there, and then that's it. It's done. Now let's see if we can have a look at 3D and if it looks alright. Oh, let's have a look what we've got here. What a shocker. It's a bit dark, let me just change this to shaded. Oh, you go, shaded. Shaded better. We can see a little better of where the cutout is. So yeah, so the next problem is that you're driving your car down here and you fall over the over there. But then you can we can actually put another pad here, which is a driveway, and you can make it slope down, and or the driveway's over here actually. So that's another story. But that's today's lesson, I think, isn't it? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Putting that on is going to be the same process as doing that house.
Similar, except it's got you can put in like edit. You can put a slope arrow, so I can make this slope, for example. Not that you do this, but if it was a driveway situation, I can make it so it slopes down. So you can change the specify height offset, height at tail. So the tail is over here. So I could make it, for example, up 300, make it, I don't know, so I just put a ridiculous number, make it 1000, see what we get. Apply. See that? So it tilted it. So you could put, if I undo that, all right. So you could put a driveway that goes down to that level. You put a flat thing first, and then you put this one here. You put this slope arrow from there to down there, so it slopes. The height over here will be yeah, whatever. We just mark around with the numbers. Whatever, I don't know what it is. You have to measure basically, or just change numbers until you get it right. Anyway, we can look at that another time if you want. Um, all right, so that's it. Yeah, happy. Yeah. All right. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Drainage. Yeah. Come closer so they can hear it. Yeah. Yeah.
So another thing, if you're going to be thinking about driveways and creating slopes and things like that, you've got to really keep in mind all the time, where is your water going to go? Councils always they prefer stuff to go to the street water table. So if you've got to think about your curb height and if water can go back there, on the opposite spectrum, what they really dislike is whenever stormwater goes onto someone else's property. So two main things council get phoned about are barking dogs and water. So make sure whatever slopes you're doing, make sure you're not sending water onto the neighbours. Luckily with this project, there's a reserve out the back and we've got a bit of a gully into there. I don't think council should have a problem with that. So, but keep those things in mind if you're going to muck around with driveways, slopes, and so on.
Yeah, good. Very good point. Yes. Thank you. All right. So, not any questions, or before we finish the recording, any questions from the audience? Yeah, no. Okay. All good. Thank you. Well, we'll see you at another session when required. Okay. Thank you. All right. No worries. Okay.